I was in college, I was diagnosed with a life-threatening illness called Aspergillosis. It was a rare invasive and fungal infection in my brain and my eye. So I had about like 10 surgeries. I was heavy on meds. I was taking it through IV. I mean, it was a lot. And pretty much I was supposed to die. I was supposed to die, but thank God I'm still alive today. You know, I lost a lot of weight. I actually went blind in one eye, so I couldn't see. It was a lot. Honestly, that kind of like derailed my whole college career. So from then on, all I had to do was fight. It took me around 2 full years to recover. Honestly, there wasn't 1 year where I was, you know, really healthy in college after that happened. So I couldn't eat the way I needed to eat, so I couldn't perform. I wasn't sleeping. And just due to the hectic schedule of, you know, being a college athlete, everything just started going downhill. So that caused me to have more injuries, you know, not sleeping, not eating right, and heavy on the pain pills, right? Because that kind of like dried out my body. So I was always cramping up. I was always straining something because I was so heavy on the meds. And plus my nutrition couldn't be where it needed to be because taking all those meds and going through all those surgeries, my body just couldn't hold all of that stuff. So when I tell y'all like I didn't have it easy, I definitely didn't have it easy. Went through all that, eventually made my way back onto the field. And when I tell you like I had determination and work ethic like no other. And you know, that was the only thing I was worried about because I was sitting there almost lost my life. So all I was worried about is getting back on the field. And my #1 dream was to make it to the NFL. A lot of people didn't believe me, but I always believed in myself. So all I did was work. I worked hard nonstop. By the end of my senior year, I didn't get invited to the NFL Combine, but I had pro day and ended up, you know, signing undrafted to the Denver Broncos in the NFL. So me beating death was already a win for me, but to overcome all that and still make it to the NFL, I mean, that's priceless for me. So honestly, I was satisfied with that. But while I was in the NFL, it was honestly too late for me. Due to the abuse my body was taking in college with all the pain pills and, you know, all the medications I was on and all the abuse, because I had to work 5 times harder than everyone else. So I had to, you know, take my body to a limit to where it never been before. But it wasn't even operating correctly because of all the abuse I was going through with the countless surgeries. Like I said, I had 10 surgeries. Who do you know who had 10 surgeries, you know, in a span of 3 years on top of taking, I don't think there was one game where I wasn't medicated on pills. From Vicodin, Oxys, and I'm not glorifying this at all because it was honestly sad. Like I couldn't play a game without being on the pills. So, you know, when I got to the league though, you know, I stopped all that because now I didn't have to focus on school and nothing like that. I could just focus on playing football, but by then it was too late. So I ended up signing with the Denver Broncos, and now here's where the hard part starts. So within 3 days of training camp, strained my hamstring. So I'm out literally the whole rest of OTAs. Now as a rookie, you cannot get hurt, especially if you're undrafted. Easy way to get cut. And I was only out there on the field for 3 days, but within those 3 days, I was balling out. I was making plays all over, getting picks, getting INT. So I did enough in 3 days to make it through camp. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm good. They're letting me rehab, good to go. So my first year, I'm smooth. Then my second year, ended up hurting my hip. But this was like towards the beginning of training camp. So after that, I went through training camp again, but I just couldn't get healthy enough. And then that was that. So I was I was rehabbing the whole season there. So yeah, I only lasted 2 years in the league. My body just couldn't catch up, right? So when you go from years of abuse on pain meds and, you know, you're taking stuff through IV, all those countless surgeries, you know, my body was just tired. So that's pretty much what happened to my NFL career. I don't have any regrets. I did my all. I'm surprised I made it that far. At the end of the day, you know, I didn't let nothing faze me. I just, you know, did the best I could. So I understand a lot of people who have health issues and they couldn't make it to that far level because of that. I mean, it sucks because there's nothing you can do about it. And it's not like you went out there and you played bad. You didn't know your plays. You couldn't execute. You know, you couldn't be a baller when the time being. It's just your body can't perform the way it needs to perform because of the, you know, circumstances and what your body been through. So that's pretty much what happened to me. At the end of the day, I don't trade nothing from the world. I appreciate all my supporters. But yeah, that's pretty much